Hello, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener. Well, the weather is warming up. It's time to go outside, but to go outside and enjoy it at night, you need some light. So I'm going to talk about all the parts of low voltage lighting and the different kinds of low voltage lighting that you can use to kind of light up your backyard. So low voltage lighting is what is used in the landscape because it's important for safety reasons. Most wiring for low voltage lighting is laid right on the dirt, and it does have a safety sheath on it, but it connects all these areas, and because it's on the dirt, it needs to be low voltage. And low voltage lighting can cover everything from path lights to uplights to step lights to downlights and a few other categories. So we're going to go through the 6 most common types of low voltage lighting, starting with path lights. So path lights are anything that's laid to shoot light on the ground and typically follows some kind of path, thus the name. The cool thing about path lights is it's not just about the lights. They come in all different kinds of styles, from traditional like this one to some of the more modern kind. And, there is a wide range. By the way, there are links in the comments section for the 2 most common ones, FXL and Kichler, the ones you'll see in this particular video. Lots and lots of different great styles, a style for every kind of backyard imaginable. But again, the key thing is these are path lights. Now, the key thing with path lights are the stems. The stems are something that is how high off the ground the lights are. And they generally are 12 inches, some are 18, some are even 24, and there's even a few that are 36. But generally, 12 to 18 is the most common kind of stem. And the stems are interchangeable. You can get a really cool fixture with a 12-inch stem and change it out for an 18-inch stem. The higher the light, the more light it's going to show. So, for example, these lights have 18-inch stems, and they cast a little bit more light. Now, nowadays, almost all lighting has these LED bulbs that last a long, long time, and that's why I always specify them. They're a little more expensive, but then you don't have to worry about the bulbs for a very long time. Next up are uplights. So uplights are the opposite of path lights. They shoot up, obviously. But one of the key things you have to realize with path lights is that there are a wide range of beam spreads. And again, all this information is in the FXL and Kichler catalogs. You can find them online. There's links in the comment and video description. So when I talk about beam spread, certain bulbs shoot a very narrow beam, certain bulbs shoot a wide beam. The kind of beam spread you want depends on what exactly you are lighting. And so what I mean by that, and that's what I'm talking about, these bulbs are interchangeable because they're LED bulbs. If you're going to light a palm tree, for example, you want a narrow beam spread because you want the light to travel a great distance up there. And these charts are really great. These are from the FXL catalog, and they show a great example of different kinds of beam spreads. And again, a medium bulb will wash a bunch of different trees. A wide bulb is when you have a nice mature canopy and you want to really light up the canopy and it looks really, really great. So when you're picking the LED bulbs, when you're picking the uplights, make sure you understand that you want to pick a beam spread that's proper for what you're trying to light. If you're lighting up a house, you want to use a wide beam spread to wash that light as far as you can from side to side. This also helps with safety. A well-lit house is going to be a slightly safer house than a darker house. So that's another really good way to use low voltage lighting is house safety. It's not just about making the path safe, but making the house lit up at night so that it discourages burglars and other activity like that. Okay, moving on. The next kind of lights that we're going to talk about are step lights. So step lights are kind of a downlight, but they're more integrated into the architecture. And there are a lot of cool different kinds of step lights. Now, one way to light the steps is from above. You can build in a downlight above the step and light it up. But the 2 most common ways are from the side with a path light as you see here. The advantage of those is that those can be added after the steps have been built, years after they've been built, just to kind of make it safe. A second way is to light them up from the side. So if you have some kind of wall, you can add these lights, and you can add these after the wall is built, by the way. I've done this many, many times. And build those in. And the advantage those have is that they throw a little bit more light on the steps. The third and the most common is if you're doing new steps, you build these light boxes into the step. And the big advantage there is that they're going to light up those steps in a way that shows the light where it's most needed. Moving on, the next one that's becoming a very fun, and I throw this on almost all of my landscape designs that I do, are these cafe lights. Oh my goodness, these are so fun. If I'm doing a landscape and at the last minute to go, well, let's add some light. Well, there's nothing more fun than having these these cafe lights, also known as string lights. All of these are LEDs now, so they last forever, and there are links to order them. But it's really kind of fun. You string up the posts, and you can even string up these shade canopies with it to give you shade in the daytime and light at night. But now they are so cool. This one is especially cool. I love this one. And by the way, there's a link to order this cafe light in the comment section. This one is a smart controlled cafe light. You can use your phone and change the lights, change the pulse, change the color. It is just the coolest thing. If you're having a 4th of July party or a Christmas party, Valentine's Day party, St. Patrick's Day party, this particular cafe light is so cool. And again, you can control it with your phone. So lots of cool options with cafe lights, and they really do make a backyard seem really fun and festive. Definitely, I strongly recommend it. All right, another one are downlights. These are dedicated fixed downlights that light a specific thing. So for example, this particular backyard, we have 3 sets of downlights. The first one lights up the dining room table. And these are fixed into the canopy. The second one illuminates the fireplace. You have this cool architectural element. Let's light it up. And oh yes, by the way, there's those cafe lights again. Like I said, it's not a party if you don't have cafe lights. The third light you see in this backyard are the downlights lighting up this beautiful barbecue. And these are fixed into the shade structure, but they are adjustable, so we can fine tune it. Here's a little more information about the fixed downlight, the one we use to light the dining room table. This is a wonderful one from FXL that was mounted directly into the beams, and it's just really cool. And again, because it's an LED, it'll last forever. Those are the angled downlights that we use to light the barbecue. And again, the big advantage of those is we can adjust where the beam is hitting. Same concept, you can adjust the beam spread to make sure you get a maximum coverage of the outdoor kitchen. All right, moving on, our last one are solar lights. What do you do if there is no electricity, but there's lots of sunshine? Get some solar lights. These have gotten so much better over the last 5 years. And these are ideal for places like this pond where there was no electricity, but the client wanted some light out there at night. And there's 3 different kinds of solar lights we use on this particular project. The other big advantage of these solar lights is that they're really inexpensive and very interchangeable. Each one of these light fixtures was about $8. If you did a path light, assuming you could even find the electricity, each path light costs about $100. So it's much more economical, especially in areas where we get a lot of sun. I always stress this to clients. Solar lights only work where you're going to get a lot of sunshine in the daytime to power those solar cells. Now, the disadvantage of solar lights is they're not going to give off as much illumination as a low voltage LED light. But again, the advantage of these are areas where there is no electricity and you want to throw some lights on. And here's a couple examples of different kinds of solar lights. That's a solar spotlight. And this one's actually a solar accent light. Yeah, it really is. That crackle bulb globe is a cool solar light. Again, links in the comments section for all of these different kinds of lights and information on light books and all that kind of cool thing. Well, that's all the time. That's all for now. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment about what kind of lighting you like to use in your yard. I hope this has been helpful for your landscape. Good luck with your landscape project. And again, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, saying thanks for watching.